Hey guys, Nyla here. And I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way or not, but the longer that I've been online and the more that I've seen the way that people act online when they are hidden behind an anonymous account, the less and less that I actually want to be around people out in the real world. And I don't know if that's my depression. I don't know if it's the anxiety. I don't know if it's just that I'm burnt out with all of the arguments and all of the fighting that goes on online in the comments and on social media. I don't know if my life has just gotten to the point where I'm burnt out with talking to people in general because of how chaotic and messed up the internet actually is. With people who are constantly online, who are constantly looking for a fight, constantly looking for something to be angry about, constantly looking for something to yell at other people about. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about all of it. And I don't know why my mind defaults to just I hate people at this point. Because it's not really true. I don't hate people. I hate certain types of people. But my mind wants to go and default to just hating people in general. And a lot of it probably is burnout, a lot of it probably is anxiety, a lot of it's probably depression. A lot of it is probably because I don't actually socialize out in the real world as much as I probably should. Mainly because when we moved here, away from the, the town that we were living in, I didn't end up going back to school. I kind of dropped out of high school because, number one, I was never going to go to college anyway, so there was really no point in me sticking around. Graduation would have been pointless. It would not have benefited me any more than, you know, than it already had. And so there was no way for me to meet people around here. And since I don't drive and I don't have a license and my parents are drunkards who sit on their ass all day as soon as they get home, I have not been able to achieve getting a license, learning how to drive. Well, I wouldn't say that I haven't learned how to drive. I know how to drive. It's just that I don't know street etiquette. I don't know a lot of how driving laws work. I'm not familiar with all of that stuff, and so me driving on the road would not be good for anyone, even though I have done so, even though knowing that I shouldn't have done so. I kinda still did it anyway, because I just wanted to. I wanted to have that experience at least once, before I absolutely had to go and get my license, and absolutely had to have all of this knowledge crammed into my head about road laws and street lights and road signs and all of that other stuff. But back to the point, I don't know where my mind is when it comes to people in general right now, especially with the way that people in government and in Christianity have been treating minorities like myself and the LGBT community. It seems more and more that interacting with people is becoming more and more difficult for us because of radicalism in Christianity and in the government in general. And I think I'm just exhausted with everything. I think that I don't I don't have the capacity to really build a relationship with new friends and new people because my mind is so burnt out with all of the things that I've experienced online and all of the things that I've seen in the news and on TV and how the world is currently going right now. I don't know how to feel. I don't know which way to go, where to turn, how to go about restarting the process of getting out in the world, in the real world outside of the internet and being social without being negatively affected mentally and emotionally because of the the hatred, especially in Arkansas, hatred of people like myself who are transgender. This state being one of the far south states that have, deeply religious people, and being so close to Oklahoma, and it's chaos. I'm not sure that it's worth me even trying to make friends in this state. I think that I would be far better off just staying to myself and finding some way in the future to move to a more blue state where people like myself are less likely to be hung out to dry, basically, where I have more of a chance to meet people who will accept me for who I am, regardless of, you know, what I consider myself to be and how I present myself, what name I choose to use for myself, what gender I consider myself to be, how I dress or how I do my hair, how I present myself personality-wise, whether that be feminine or masculine, whatever it is. I don't think this is the state to really do that. I think there's far too many people here who would greatly disapprove of who I am, and I don't really see myself being able to make too many friends even if I did try to go out and be social and try to make friends and try to commit myself to a group of people. I don't see that happening easily. I don't see that happening quickly, especially with my emotional dysregulation. It is extremely hard and extremely difficult to maintain my emotions and my composure when I get angry or if I start to fall into a depressive state or if I'm overwhelmed with anxiety and I burst into tears. People are not going to really understand that. And I don't have easy access to therapy to combat all of that stuff. So for me, it's become incredibly and immeasurably difficult to even consider trying to find people to start friendships with, to start a relationship with outside of the internet, outside of my house. And even with my own parents, I can't really be friends with them. I can't really be myself truly with them because they're part of the problem. They are one of these. They're the deeply religious Christian idiots who were born and raised in Arkansas and Oklahoma. So you can imagine just how bad they are about my whole about me being transgender and the whole thing, the whole nine yards, you know. So yeah, I know I'm rambling on, and I'm trying to put in perspective where my mind is currently, and I'm trying to get it off of my mind and put it out there so that I can stop thinking so much about it. Because I found that it helps to really just put it on video or put it in words and send it out to the world. And then my mind tends to just let it go. So that's kind of why I'm making this video a little bit. The other half of that is this is basically just my own type of therapy, because getting therapy for me is not simple or easy. And if I had a job and I was making money on my own, this would be easy, or a lot easier anyway, because I could just pay out of pocket, you know, and it would be worth it for me to pay out of pocket for therapy because I desperately need it. And I don't think my parents realize how desperately I need it, because I don't talk about this a lot, but I have suicidal ideation. I don't have any plans to ever attempt to harm myself, but I do have thoughts every day, or, well, not every day, but once every couple of weeks or so. If I'm just really tired and really stressed and my emotions boil up, my mind will go to the thoughts of, I just don't want to exist. I would rather just fall asleep and not wake up. It would be a lot easier for me to do that than a lot of other options. So yeah, that's basically where my mind has been for the past couple of days, aside from the ideation that doesn't happen as often as it used to. There was a point in my life in my teenage years where this was just every day, but it doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to, and and I can promise you I'll be okay. It's just I wish that I had an easier life than I do. I wish that I had easier access to mental health care and physical health care. But I don't. And it's been really difficult. So yeah, we'll skip the outro this time around. This video is just more of a mental therapy for me to just throw my thoughts out there. So yeah, I'll end the video here. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to make the camera shake. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Shadows whisper slow.